Hello everyone and anyone, it's Ziyal from Ziyal Gaming, etc. and welcome back to Age of Decadence. Last time, we had some double crossing from Baracus, the guard that we bribed before, and his friend. And thankfully me and the crossbow and bow crew got things done with only one casualty. So, let us go take the sweet spoils of war. We'll save Baracus for last. Yep, take the tunics. Take it all. Take it all. Yeah, just pick one. Yeah, that one. Attacking me with sticks and such. Really, I'm glad I didn't use the bomb this time. Although I do love that bomb. It's almost enough to make me one of the best points in alchemy. Although my character is not very intelligent. Or civically minded. Okay, Baracus, what do you got on you? 43. There we go. Some stuff I can definitely sell to the next guy. Yep, didn't work out too well for you, did it, Baracus? This is what happens if you cross Ziyal, the former mercenary thief for hire. So let's see. There is the cart. So, alright, thief, homeboys, let us go load up the cart. Just double checking. Make sure... Oh, there's still a robber or something on him. Thank goodness. Take all the stuff. This will all go well. I mean, there's just so many dead bodies together. And they're all stripped down their underwear. A classic RPG tradition. I'm not quite sure what's going on over here, though. Bow guy number 1 he's just not fazed by it. He's seen this before. So, looks like over here is a cart. And how we continue on our journey. To the cart it is. Robber's gone, the road to Maadoran is clear. Let's look around, just double checking. See if anything is immediately highlightable. Other than my thief comrades. It's taking the other way out. Hey, better than having to fight the Legion on the way out. Just corrupt city guards. Okay, good enough for me. So, to the cart again. And probably time for some narration. Aziz is waiting for you at the edge of the forest. Glad you made it, Ziyal. For a moment there, I thought you might be in trouble. Kato sent you? Aziz nods. The cargo's too valuable to leave unattended. No offense. Hey, look! Well, no, it's a different guy. I wonder if it actually would show if the other archer survived with me. What about Kato? What about him? He'll lay low for now. Won't be the first time, but the guild will be up and running before you know it. You gained new insight. Yep, insight's awesome, fantastic. All right, let's go. All right, taking the demise of the Imperial Guards at the hands of the bowmen is a good omen. Lord Antita steps up with the recruitment efforts of House Daraton. Pardons are granted to the bandits and raiders willing to serve the house, and mercenaries are hired en masse with the Commercium's golds. This looks very, very familiar to when I accidentally screwed the pooch. I got myself kicked out of town early. I'm trying to see if there's any differences from before. But basically, without the Imperial Guards, fighting men check, the town goes in their lawlessness because of my duty. Commercium's paying the wages, mercenaries are doing their thing, backed up by the Legion. Commercium influence grows rapidly. Well, not with me, they don't like me very much. The infamous slums of Maadoran are a maze-like district of makeshift houses built along ruins stretch on for miles. The main of 40 thieves, the slums have always been known as a kingdom of beggars and thieves. Proverbial rock bottom one ends up after too many wrong choices. It is a lawless place, guarded by avoided even by guards, which makes a perfect place to hide something. Well, since I'm stuttering and can't read today, I can say this has definitely been read before, but this is what happens. This is definitely the thief symbol. It's definitely what I was going for. By the time the Commercium goal reaches Maadoran, disappears into the slums, and things are going well. Let's see what happened to some of the characters. No, I guess none of the characters matter. We are moving on to Maadoran. Let's see. Yep, after a few weeks of travel, marble minuets and sandstone domes finally appear out of the shimmering desert. Once the jeweled empire is now a city of crumbling ruins of forgotten glory. The rivers that fed it dry, its once fertile lands now barren rock and endless drifting sand. The Great War devastated Maadoran. Almost a quarter of its citizens died in arcane blasts that created the infamous Abyss. The sickness that followed had nearly succeeded in wiping out the rest, but cities rarely die with dignity. Men return to Maadoran, scavengers seeking to loot the treasures of the past, oblivious to the weight of history around them as they squabble over food and gold. Alright, Maadoran's brethren meet you outside the city. I'm Bassar, says the man in charge. Levere's second in command. We'll take the gold and get inside the city without causing another riot. You'll go through the gate and meet us at the old temple in the slums. Why can't we go with you? We have our ways of getting in and out of the city. Few people need to know about them better, no offense. How do I know I can trust you? Because I know him, says Aziz. He's Levere's right-hand man. Alright. Before, but I feel much better about my life and chances now than I did before. Once again, it's still very limited in what the city seems to be itself. But oh, we got some more skill points. That's right, for land ho. Cannimby. Look at all this cool stuff we can do. Well, let us check first with our points here. I am loving striking people in the head and being proficient with the spear. Plus one more ability is going to make it so that I can strike them right in the noodle. So we're gonna immediately put that point in the spear and get that rating up to 93%. What's it say about my spear ability? Adept. You become quite deadly with a spear. I like to think so. That body count number. Feeling like combat is only a matter of chance. I think I am going to up that dodge rating some more. I don't want to lag too far behind the spear. And we're just spending those skill points. Forget that saving thing I said before. Because I have a feeling I'll be getting attacked by somebody sooner or later. So what's up, Cannimby? What do you want? Man in the front of he's in his 50s. His face is deeply lined and weathered, suggesting the owner spends most of his time outside. Probably in the wasteland. I was just curious about the line of work you were in. I kinda don't talk about people I don't know, says the man, turning away. Are you Cannimby? Who wants to know? Asks the man, his hand casually reaching for his knife. Gracias sent me. Said you might have some work for me. I'm trying to remember who Gracias was. Oh, that's right. He did say that. Gracias was the old man, I believe, from the beggars. Hopefully I got that right. Is that so? Says Cannimby, relaxing visibly. How's Gracias these days? Okay, maybe not the right guy. Dead! So how about a jump? You see, the kind of work I do, it's not for everyone. High mortality rate, as they say. Still want it? Whose mortality? Ha! Laughs Cannimby, slapping on the shoulder. You got the gist of it. If you're good at killing, it's always other people end up dead, ain't it? We leave in 2 hours. Don't be late. What's the job? Like I said, we leave in a couple hours. If you find yourself something better to do, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, you know where to find me. Okay. Well, hopefully Cannimby will still be around. I'm gonna check my journal real quick for characters. Try to remember. Well, he doesn't have a face. Was it a completed quest? I had to deal with that. Okay. Perhaps some locals can shed some light in the map. Okay. Anyone else around here that needs to be talking to? Doesn't seem like it. Man sitting on bench. Guys, I mean, I've got to figure this out. Is he gonna do it again? Are you smoking? Because yeah. Okay, but he's hitting the imaginary flint, and then he's lighting it up. Alright, well, I obviously don't know ancient culture stuff. I kind of assumed that was something that happened later. Although, man, they really have got a bad smoking habit going on around here. Alright. Because they're just all hanging around there. Okay, I believe we talked to this guy a little bit on my failed time here. You're late, says the man standing next to an empty stall when you approach him. Caravan just left. Take weeks. Where do you send caravans to? Basically, Ganizar and Kator talks about this. We've mentioned this before. They pop up like mushrooms, these extra villages. Alright, what about Abiza and Kippur? The Imperial Guards took Kippur 2 decades back, ran into the ground. As Mara fell a year ago, 2 lordlings tore it apart after their father's death. The way the story is told, the younger son gathered enough support to suppose his older brother would somehow manage to escape, hired every mercenary company willing to fight for a cut of the action, and returned to claim the throne. The siege went on for years, and by the time the town fell, the mercenary companies took what they considered a fair share. There wasn't much left of it. Why didn't the guards step in? The guard said that the chapter doesn't allow them to interfere in the internal affairs of houses. The way I see it, the weaker the houses, the stronger the guards. At any rate, I don't see them pulling their asses out of line just to prop up some lordling. Alright, yeah, tell me a little more about that. So about this. It's a lovely town. It's built in cascading levels around the castle to give the town its name, so its view alone is worth the trip. The archways of the low town become the walkways of the skyport. It's quite a sight, my friend. There's nothing like it anywhere. Locals are getting too obsessed with gods and worship, but maybe it's better than being obsessed with money and power, eh? I find it rather charming, to be honest. The skyport? It's one of the districts. Stories say that the flying ships used to dock there, and it does have these strange platforms that could have been used for just about anything, if you ask me. Of course, flying ships and chariots make better stories, so who am I to argue? Okay, what can you tell me about Keitor? You see one military fort, you see them all. This one's just a bigger than all the others combined. They keep it simple. Rows of barracks, granary, cookhouse, hospital, and a praetorium. The entire splendor is surrounded by walls to keep the guards from running away in the middle of the night, no doubt. Well, thanks, Clericus, for just talking to me about local customs or local villages and things. So moving on. There is door. Now, if I remember correctly, there was... Doesn't seem like we're getting the same things before as guy being harassed. Combat that I definitely got my character murdered on, not being anywhere ready for it at the time. There is doors here. Let's go back here and check out this first door. What's in here? A storyteller. You see a grizzled little fellow haggling with the innkeeper over a dish of scraps and a cup of watered wine. When they reach an agreement, the old man pulls the cup towards them for a long sip, savoring his drink, and reluctantly pours the rest in the bowl of yesterday's rice. He works the wine to rice, which, along with half an onion, comprises his meal. After finishing, he lets his gaze linger a moment on the empty bowl before turning with a dispirited side to address the common room. A tale, he says in a hoarse voice, before pausing to cough explosively. Hearken, everyone, to the most wondrous tale. Tale I offer exclusively to the most distinguished patrons of this most illustrious establishment. Well, stay a while and listen. Look around you, my friends. The patrons comply, obviously suspecting as part of feeble jest. No, not these four walls, you dolts. Look in wonder at the glorious city of Maadoran. Countless cities and towns, villages, hamlets have crumbled into dust, or been submerged beneath the waves, or swallowed by the desert sands. But Maadoran survives. For 10,000 years, the mighty capital has stood, and for 10,000 years she will continue to stand, watching over. I heard the city was 1,000 years old, interrupts the surly-looking metal worker. And where do you hear that, pray tell? Storyteller seems to grow in stature, looking down at the man with disdain. I was born here, as was my father and my father's father, and his father before him. So which of us knows best, my gritty friend? Now step aside for a while the crackling of geese in the market, which is often mistaken for wisdom, and you'll learn something of the city of all cities we are all so fortunate to call home. Keep listening. Maadoran was old and wise, already a place of philosophers and statesmen, when the empire was nothing but an upstart kingdom. Yes, there were brawlers full of strength and bluster. Let us give violence its due. But that would have been their end without our art, our knowledge, our wisdom. The empire had its legions, my esteemed comrades, but there's a limit to what can be accomplished through brutality. Add culture and knowledge to your strength, and you have a potent force. The old empire has fallen to dust. A heap of cracked stones where once stood mighty walls. Of ancient Ilium nothing remains but faded diagrams and a handful of mildewed scrolls. Maadoran alone stands, her glory scornful to passing mere men of time and decay, her nobles and lords unfazed by. I come inside to get away from the wind, not to bathe in it, a dusty scribe declares. Yes, to get a tale before you crumble away yourself, another patron adds. Gonna keep listening. I'm getting to the tale, says the old-timer. He smiles still, but his eyes are tight with anger. I know that such learned folks as yourselves must have heard that dismal and storied ruin, that place of terror and woe, commonly named the Abyss. Well, there are rumors, there are tales, there is truth. I will wager a meal that no one here has heard the truth. And you know the truth? Asked the scribe. I certainly do, the storyteller snaps, for instant unable to conceal his weary and bitter man he has become. I happened in my travels upon a lore master walking alone in the edge of the desert. His apprentice had died on the road the week before, and worse luck, his mule soon after. The lore master himself was clinging to life by the barest thread. I shared my water with him, the only wealth I had to offer him. As you can see, I'm a humble man, and in his gratitude he gifted me with his finest scroll, a first-hand account of the poison zone which history has named the Abyss. This was 10 years ago, and the scroll itself is now lost, but luckily for you, my friends, I've committed the entire to the vault of my mind. He taps his finger meaningfully on one temple. Still 10 years, a few of the details may be mixed up, but I promise worth my time and a coin or two besides. It was during the final days of the Great War. It begins with a drama running close to ridiculous. When the earth and sky both were riven by terrible weapons, catastrophe chased disaster. Entire cities vanished overnight, tens of thousands extinguished like candle flames swamped by the sea. Yet Doren was impregnable, for no army could breach the mantle of magic. Any who approached were destroyed without mercy, like ants treading on a bed of hot coals, but her enemies were as clever as they were resilient. One night, the city's magi tracked several new stars in the night sky. Stars would move, but did not burn out and disappear as more common brothers. They declared this a dark omen and commanded the minuets and spires to cast their nets just as the cursed beacons began to fall into the city. They were too late, however. One star escaped those nets to land in the veritable District of Wisdom. That was the time when the sun dawned its darkest night, and the thunder that arose made the gods themselves tremble. When the real sun rose in the east, all it could see from District Wisdom was no more. That is what we now call the Abyss. But that is not the end of my story. With that cruel dawn, a strange misshapen man appeared at the gates. He was haggard and wan, and stumbled as though wounded. Yet raw power crackled the air around him. When he gestured, the steel gates, 12 feet high, crumpled as if no more than paper in his closed fist. The guards who rushed to meet him bent like reeds in the gale, but from the wind that bowed them, they would never spring back. In that instant, the city was doomed, for the creature wasn't a man at all, but a demon conjured in the unspeakable rituals of our enemies. There was, however, one who dared oppose him, Abu Hassan in Hadan al-Sarabi, first of the Magi. The lords of the city all knew him to be doing their work 1,000 miles from Maadoran. He had somehow appeared in their direst need, to stay calmly waiting in the path. The twisted creature sneered at the world's greatest magis, using the familiar form of greeting and insult to such a powerful man, and asked if he still thirsted for knowledge man wasn't meant to know. Calmly, the Magus replied, with his thirst being quest a long time ago, and that his power and that of his seals had grown stronger since their last meeting, as the state of the demon's forlorn and raggedy host did attest. The demon had no witty reply to this, but reared up as if to strike him down. To the astonishment of everyone present, including the demon himself, his own limbs refused to obey him. His ribs cracked inward with a sound like twigs breaking, his legs buckled beneath him, and his eyes turned white, leaving him blind. Sealed within the ruined human form, he was unable to do anything but growl and curse. And what did they do with the demon? Inquired the scribe softly. Something more during the story, the patron's taunts and grumbling faded away, and everyone sat on the edge of their chair, fists clenched, wine forgotten. That detail the scroll did not reveal, but I would venture the demon was locked away for eternity in the most impregnable sort of prison or vault. I mean, what else would do such a thing? Alright, time for me to actually talk. Yeah, the scroll mentioned the name of this demon? It did. He is befuddled for a moment, since you clearly the first person to ask him that. Balzurube. It had an evil sound, like vinegar on the tongue. What was the Magi working on before the attack on the city? The scroll didn't say. All I can tell you that the grandest and tallest building in the city was a house of Magi, 12 golden towers and silver arches hovering over the city. It is written that the highest pinnacle pierced the clouds, and the lowest catacomb dug deep under the earth, anchoring the tower in place. Can you see now what was lost? He's practically pleading for understanding. When will we ever rebuild such splendor? How? The Abyss used to be District Wisdom. That is correct. It was the heart of Maadoran, the place of temples, libraries, and schools. Granted, all I saw was an old drawing, but the image left me speechless and filled my heart with sorrow. Lore Masters say that the answer to any question can be found in the District of Wisdom, if one knew where to look and whom to ask. Men would come from all over the land to seek out our wisdom, and that the only thing they seek here are the horrors. So, it was like a vast library? Not wholly inaccurate, but it was also much more than the mapped. The ancients mined knowledge the way slaves mined ore. The city boasted the best magi, alibres, topologists, alchemists, engineers, and astronomers. Maadoran had them all in one place. They walked in these streets, breathed the same air, gazed upon the same stars. It was a time of wonder. What do you know about the gods? Old wives' tale, says the old man submissively. Men of wisdom won the war, not gods. Let these gods strike me down if I lie. Alright. Exposition. And, is that guy still around? No. He is the gone. And, nope. None of these people are interactable. There is a door here leading to places. Looks like one of these might be a shop or something, but they want nothing to do with me. But looks like we got definitely filled in a lot of gaps in the history of Maadoran. Looks like this place has some tall tales. Who can say what is true, am I right? Taverns are where you usually want to go. What is this? Let's quick try to go in the door. Please don't have another person deciding life story time. Nope, they're not selling nothing. Exploring the houses, seeing what's here. Got a thieves guild and beds are there. Okay, what about this door? Nothing, nothing, nothing. And just some guy. Oh, that drastic camera angle shift. And an interactable guy in the back. Exciting. Looking around here, seeing nothing. Okay, so this is all one big flop house. Unless, is this go upable? It is not. This is merely decoration for the upstairs. I hate stairs or decoration. Alright, that's right. A local guide. Maybe you can film these map pieces for me. 10 Imperials, yells a man standing in Mill Street. For only 10 Imperials, you get a tour of a glorious city and all of your questions answered. I'm not going to stand here all day, so it's limited time opportunity only. Yeah, it's 10 Imperials. Probably going to end up mugging me and turning me to people. Excellent choice, says the man in a patronizing manner, as if being pleasantly surprised by an out-of-towner's acumen. Rule number 1, stay away from the slums. The cities were held and the slums would be the way bottom of it. The final destination of all the shit that slowly falls downhill from one district to another. The guards stay away from the slums and so should you if you have any common sense. The only law there is the Thieves Guild, and it's a very simple law. If you're the one of them, nobody fucks with you. If you aren't, you're on your own, which usually means good is dead. How many districts? We have 5 districts, but you should limit your stay to the trade and arena districts. Trust me. You have no business in the other 3, but since you paid me, I'm going to cover them in my tour to give you a proper perspective. At the top of the pyramid is the Palace District, named after, you guessed it, the Palace. That's where the noble-born live, and if you have the money to afford it, it's nice, clean, and crawling with guards. If you steal a purse in the Arena District, and all you're going to get for your trouble is a beating. You even look a purse in the Palace District, and the guards will chop off your arm before you can blink, just to be safe. Don't say I didn't warn you. Life is a picnic even when you have 2 hands, but if you're down to 1, it becomes downright unbearable. Then you have the Trade District, home of the Merchants Guild, who pays a fortune in levies to keep the district open, the upper end of the scale. You see that golden dome in the distance? That's the Commercium, which is kind of fitting. Maadoran used to be known as the city of 3 temples not so long ago. Commercium bought one, the thieves took another, and the Abyss claimed the 3rd. So now we're a city of 2 temples. One houses the Merchant Guild, the other the Thieves Guild. What can I tell you? It's a sign of the times. Trade tickets for tradesmen, moneylenders, and improvised nobles. If you're doing well, it's where you consider yourself lucky. Well, I think I've pissed off the Commercium enough, so let's stay away from there. The Arena District. It's all about entertainment. We have the arena, of course, taverns, whorehouses, nothing fancy, mind you. If you want a real courtesan, go to the trade district. If you aren't picky and don't want to spend more than a few coins, you'll find plenty of local talent right here. The Imperial Guard's barracks is here as well. They don't get involved in local affairs, of course, but they do try to keep their houses clean and the slums from growing bigger than it is. And the last. The Abyss. An old wound that still won't heal. The bastards hit us pretty hard during the big old war, so now we have a miles-long crater filled with fog and ruins where the 2 district used to be. Keep in mind that fog is still deadly as the day it appeared, so if you're thinking of going in, don't count it coming out. Who rules the city? Lord Gadius of House Aurelian. The best lord he could possibly wish for, bar none. He leaves us alone, keeps the levies reasonable like, and doesn't get bright ideas like Meru. What's not to like? Besides, he has too many of his own problems to worry about anything else. The palace district is a nest of vipers, you see. When the empire fell, most nobles fled to Maadoran. Nobody wanted to two-bit towns of Terran or Kippur. Genezer? It was not for everyone before Meru went mad. So as I was saying, most nobles fled to Maadoran, and by most, I mean several houses with their guards and retainers. Oh, it was bloody. House Aurelian, one of the late arrivals, managed to come out on top, which means that many families ended up at the bottom. Still living comfortably, mind you, but what's comfort to me if humiliation likes them? Alright, I've already asked the districts. Why do they avoid the slums? Sure that they can. But if they do that, take Odregsko. It's a harsh world, my friend. Some people don't have what it takes to make it. I'd rather they keep to one place and wander around aimlessly, bringing the quality of life down for the rest of us. It's a good arrangement, trust me. Where can I find some work? Try the guilds. They're always hiring, especially the boatmen. Business has been good for them lately. Alternately, you can always go to the arena and try your luck there. Tempting. Look for some people. Do they have names? Do you know a good lore master? They say Master Rebus is as good as they come, but he lives in the palace, so I doubt you get a chance to see him. If you're desperate, try Akbar or the Mad. You can find him in Observatory in the Trade District. The Mad? He's not altogether there, but some people swear by him. Alright. I already know where Kimbanibo is. So, that's good. Let's see what else we got going on here. Exposition. Oh. Couple steps forward. What happened last time? Oh boy. I wonder, I've actually done a little better this time around, so we're gonna see. Hear the sounds of drums announce the arrival caravan. Almost immediately, crates, barrels, and sacks start flowing through the gates, followed by chained, dust-covered slaves and tired guards. Go and take a look. Yep, this is familiar. Once inside the gates, new arrivals are dealt with surprising speed and efficiency. Slaves are taken to the auction block, paid for cargo delivered to the consignes. Guards paid and discharged to boost the local economy. All that's left are small-time traders hoping to sell their goods for profit in the big city. We've all read this before, but when the trader shakes his head and turns away from the living collector to think it over, and then he's approached by some rough-looking men. Trader still in a state of shock. Last time I followed him and things went badly, but I'm feeling froggy. What can I say? We're gonna follow him. Okay, you follow them into the nearby alley, arriving just in time to witness the last act of the drama. The parting of a fool and his gold, or possibly life. The thugs, now 3 of them, regard you as an extra bonus, 2 for the price of 1. What do we have here? Inquires one of the thugs, the skinny man with deep-seated eyes surrounded by dark circles. Okay. Kill them all. Get out of here. We have some options here to go with, and I think we're gonna talk a little more. Ask him, is all you do is kill and rob here? How's that in your business? Asked the thug. Because from now on it's my business. New city needs new spending money. You'll pay me half each take, and in return, I'm trying to, I'm a devious person, but I don't know if I have the persuasive skills to make that work, or even streetwise it's gonna work. Let's try to say, get out of here. Oh, or what? Asked the thug, spreading his arm and pushing his chest forward. Okay. Ooh, okay, so we have ourselves some options here. So I'm gonna call the video here with a little bit of drama. because I'm pretty sure it's either going to result in some immediate combat or something else. So thanks very much for watching. I'm going to have the next episode up soon. And if you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, subscribe for more Age of Decadence and new content coming out. And I hope everyone has a great day. See y'all next time.